You know, this is actually a video that I could make that would last forever. I have a lot of detail that's thrown into this actually. I'm only putting this into D. This isn't like an actual tier list. I'm putting these all together for a reason. The first few story arcs of One Piece that all encompass all of East Blue. Basically, I'm associating that there are parallels in the One Piece. The way that Oda writes is that there are parallel arcs that have opposing themes, which one YouTuber actually, I forget his name, he actually said it's kind of like two sides of the same coin where they have opposing themes, but they're about the same thing. So you might call me fucking crazy for it, but it's so obvious. Like, basically, like, when you get to Arlon Park, the whole thing is about how racist the fishmen are. The fishmen are the bad guys. They're being racist. The literal opposite of that. It shows Orihime, I believe was her name, or whatever. She got murdered by the Celestial Dragons in the whole slave trade thing. Even when you figured out what was happening with Hachi and Saba. That's the full story arc of it. You learn about Fisher Tiger, and you basically just learn about the Sun Pirates and about the branding. So that's the same kind of concept there, but they're opposing themes. Anyway, they're not super similar. There's more similarities I could bring up. I'm not going to do that right now. So the next story arc that came out was Alabasta, and they're both very beautiful arts, but Dressrosa. Actually, before I even get to Stipe here, I wanted to talk about Little Garden, but you know, we'll throw Little Garden in here. Little Garden introduces Dory and Bragi, and those are the first two naturally born giants they show in the show, or in the manga. But Punk Hazard is an entire arc based around children who are like artificially being turned into fucking giants. Giants as a parallel theme with artificial and natural being opposing. You know, like, I mean, I'm not fucking crazy here. They're both literally a warlord, attempting to take over a country versus a warlord who has already taken over a country. You meet Ace, so you meet Luffy's brother, and you also meet Sabo, so you meet Luffy's brother. I mean, that's very super similar. Like, the similarities start to actually get, like, pretty fucking crazy. In Alabasta, Crocodile wanted the Pluton, and he was looking for the Poneglyph in order to get the Pluton. The secret of Mary's Wasp. Yeah, I think so Crocodile didn't find the secret weapon, but literally right here at the end of Dressrosa, I have like suspicions that Doflamingo knows where it is. You know what? You know, like, that's the opposing thing, is that one guy could not find it and one guy knew where it was the whole time. Such a good villain. There's a secret. What is that supposed to mean? This is about Emu or whatever. Yeah, yeah. So it's like the first time that something huge like this was introduced and actually like shared upon. Annie's lobby has a shit ton to do with like Whole Cake. Robin leaves the crew, and then Usopp fights with Luffy. Luffy actually wins that fight. But in Whole Cake, the same thing happens, except for, you know, Sanji leaves the crew. And Luffy actually technically loses that fight, which is the opposite. But I'm going to have to, like, add another category here in a second, because, like, holy shit. So, with Thriller Bark, I'm just going to say it right here, right now. Wano, 100%. You might think I'm actually crazy for trying to find all these similarities between how these story arcs are like actually made. But if you think about Thriller Bark, they end up fighting two warlords in Thriller Bark and losing. And then in Wano, they end up fighting two emperors of the sea and winning. So you have the same coin, opposing themes. Now, also, if fucking believe it or not, Zoro gets the sword in Thriller Bark and then returns the sword in Wano. Thriller Bark, Sanji like literally is so upset and depressed and cries about wanting to be invisible because of Absalom, and then in Wano he actually wears the Germa sits suit. He gets to be invisible. He literally gets to do it. Like Sabbaty, okay? So what happens after Wano is post Wano. Post Wano is when Green Bull shows up. He's the new admiral, and he fucking loses to Momonosuke. Bro, when Kizaru showed up in Sabbaty, he fucking wasted everybody. They all got crapped on. And then, oh, guess what happens after that? The Amazon Lily comes after Sabbaty. And then what happens after post Wano? Fucking Blackbeard shows up in Amazon Lily and kidnaps Kobe. Kind of the same way he kidnapped Ace. So it leads me to believe Shanks isn't gonna end this next war. I think he's gonna ride it to where Shanks starts this next war. And I think it really shows that with what he did to Kid, when he just fucking shit on Kid, and Dory and Brody destroyed his ship. Like, it felt kind of like, I think they were actually already defeated. So I'm thinking that Egghead Island actually is gonna have a lot of similarities with Impel Down. Like, I haven't been reading Egghead, but so I don't know the details. Yeah. I didn't really want to spend too much time on it, so I just wanted to say that there's a lot of these similarities. Arlon Park and Fishman Island are about racism, but it shows Fishman being racist, and then it shows humans being racist. Little Garden and Punk Hazard are about giants. It shows natural giants, and then it shows artificial giants. Alabasta and Dressrosa are about countries that are being dominated by warlords. It both show Luffy's brother. Both showcase something huge, like the Pluton and whatever is hiding in Marijuas. Skypiea and Zoe are these mystical places that nobody knows existed, and they both have to do with poneglyphs. I don't have too many other similarities about them, but whatever. Enies Lobby and Whole Cake Island. Robin leaves the crew. Sanji leaves the crew. Luffy wins the fight. Luffy loses the fight. Like, just so much. Thriller Bark and Wano. Sanji wants to be invisible. Sanji gets to be invisible. Zoro gets the sword. Zoro returns the sword. They fight 2 fucking warlords. They fucking fight 2 emperors. Sabbaty and Post Wano. Kizaru shows up and beats everybody. Green Bull shows up and beats nobody pretty much. Amazon Lily. Luffy shows up and meets Boa Hancock. And then the opposing thing is Blackbeard shows up to Amazon Lily. It's like the opposing theme there, I think, is like Luffy is the opposite of Blackbeard. Like, they have the same, like, dream, but one is good and one is bad. I think it's very obvious how he writes, and I think that this is, like, a very clear cut. Because people don't, like, believe me when I say this shit, and it's, like, it's so goddamn obvious. I think he already put the end of One Piece in One Piece. If, like, I think once we get to this, like, last arc, like, the mirror or the opposite of the Marineford War, I think will be, like, a reversal of the East Blue. And we might, my weirdest prediction is I think Helmeppo with Sword being at Blackbeard's Island right now might end up fighting his dad at San Morgan. That is, like, a weird thing I have. I know it's the theory no me, but that would be fucking dope. So that's all I had. Complete.